how to make money online through the webinar funnel, but most importantly, how do you actually scale it? How do you take it to 5, 6 figures and beyond? Today in this video, I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes to a call that I did to show you exactly things like the critical numbers that you have to know. When do you know that it's actually ready to be scaled? Should you be doing it in-house? Should you be working with an agency? How do you negotiate with a win-win? We're going to take a look at all these different things. If you are somebody that's always wanted to build, grow, or scale a profitable webinar online, then you must watch this video till the end. Eileen's question on traffic is, she has been running traffic for a month and would like to know what metrics that would be most important to scale a funnel. Let's take a look at the funnel. The buy rate's 8.9%, which is very good, by the way, especially when PayPal purchase is not included in the screenshot. That is actually really very high. I'll need to look at what makes it work. Opt-in rate 38%, which is fair for an evergreen webinar funnel. So let's take a look at the first few things first, okay? Before we dive into the traffic and talk about scaling it, let's take a look at the funnel. The next thing I'll look at is the ad, right? I want to know like the numbers around it. I'm guessing you have many different variations of it, and that is why the engagements on this ad is diluted down. We'll talk about that as well. But let's start off with this, okay? Before I look into the numbers, I would like you to explain to us perhaps some really crucial numbers in terms of the big picture. Eileen, could you let us know, based on the recent month, how much you spent and kind of like each step of the funnel, if you know like how many clicks you got, how many show-ups, how many people registered from the people that showed up, how many people bought, and kind of like the big picture numbers.
Yes, absolutely. So I had 604 registrants. It was like a 39%, or right now, I guess today is a 39% opt-in rate. And then I've had, 8 sales to date. So I think it's been running for about 35 days. And so it's somewhere around 8.9 buy rate, like you mentioned.
Which is amazing, by the way. Well done. Which is really
awesome.
amazing. What's the price point on this?
It was a $997 course with a $47 materials fee for the live event ticket. That's a bonus for the course. My average cart value was $1,023.
Right. Okay. Wait. So it's $997 plus.
Yes.
Wait. Is that 37? Is it 47?
$47 materials fee.
Wow. Eileen, first of all, based on numbers alone, I can tell you right now that you have a winning funnel. 604 registrants with an 8% close rate that is automated means that this thing is highly scalable. Okay, this is very good. So guys, one of the things I want you to notice what I'm doing with Eileen right now is it's very important that you guys know this so that you can reverse engineer and know how much is the maximum you can pay per webinar registrant. So your main question over here was like, how do I know when I can scale? So the way to do it is to first look at where the weakest link is on this entire webinar funnel. And based on what I'm seeing over here, okay, it's these few things. First thing, we need to look at all of the different steps and layers of the funnel. So the first funnel is the webinar registration page. Right now, your webinar registration page, your opt-in is 38%. So the first way to improve it is to improve the opt-in, and the benchmark to go for, since it is a automated webinar, it is actually 50%. So how do you know when you should actually scale? You know when you should be scaling when, first of all, obviously when it's profitable, but when you're able to determine each step of your funnel, how much you're paying. So based on Eileen's webinar funnel, the numbers she needs to know is what is the cost per registrant? That's the first thing. How much does it actually cost her to get somebody on a webinar? So this is purely based on, how is this calculated? Based on how many clicks she gets and how many people and the percentage that actually register for it. That will determine the cost per registrant. We don't have to work on the close. We just need to know how can we give Mark Zuckerberg more money so that For every $1 you put in, you continue getting back about 180% in return, which is pretty decent on the front end. This ad over here, you told me that inside your email, this is your best performing ad. And your best performing ad, which is this one, the engagement on this is low. So what that tells me that the agency is doing is they are taking this ad and your engagements on this ad is being diluted because there are X amount of variations of this ad. So what that means is they're probably taking this ad and they are perhaps having a variation of maybe like 5 different audiences. It could also be the case where they swapped out the image with the same exact copy and that becomes another ad. Now, one of the things that has changed dramatically last year when it comes to Facebook ads is that there's more and more importance in the engagement of your ads that acts as a social proof that will in turn affect how many clicks you get to your landing page. So the first thing I would actually ask them to do is to stop creating so many different variations of this ad. Eileen, would you like to chime in and confirm if this is what they're doing, or are you not like really aware of what they're doing and why is the engagement on this ad so low if this is indeed the best performing ad?
I believe that you're correct saying they are doing lots of variations of that same ad. So I understand and I can ask them that for sure. That's great.
And this is why every time you think of something creative and you run this ad, it is never wasted. It is never wasted because when it's profitable, you can leave it on, switch it off once it fatigues out, and 1 year later, run it again. So that is why right now I've got many ads that's not new. It's just reactivated from a year ago. The first thing I'll ask the agency is, what is stopping us from increasing the budget to $1,000 a day? Is it because the audience size is not big enough? Or is it because it's big enough, but the moment we start increasing, our profitability falls? And to look at that, I would take a look at the numbers. Now, on a $300 ad spend day, you can see that the cost per lead was $10. And on another day where you spent $465, the cost per lead was $11. So things did not actually go crazy. And in fact, on a day that you spent $237, the cost per lead was half, $4.85. So prorated, if anything at all, I do not see anything going wrong when you actually increase the ad spend. The problem with working with an agency that's paid on net profit, they would not want that to happen because to them, they're not going to get paid on that. Or else for you, you want to break even. And the reason why you want to break even is because, remember, they're coming to your live event. And remember what you told me when they came to your live event? You had less than 20 people in there and you had a crazy amount of sales. Was it like 75K or something?
92.
92, right? So what does it mean? It means that if anything at all, you don't care if you just break even. You just want as many people to come to the event because the real money is in the back end. So another thing when it comes to scaling now is I would literally go back to the agency and say, look, guys, I want to give you more money. And to give you guys more money and to make it a win-win, I think that to make it fair for you guys and to make it a win-win is for me to pay you guys based on percentage of ad spend. That way, it would be in your best interest to spend as much money as possible. It will also be a huge win for me because I don't care if you just break even. In fact, if you can spend 100 grand and just break even, I know that when these people come to my live event, not only am I going to change lives, it's going to be a huge win for the audiences and me as well. So now you are going to restructure the entire thing to make it a win for all parties. And this is when they're going to be happier because now they're going to be a lot more aggressive. I can see what the issue is now. The reason why they have been holding back is because they are literally paid based on net profit. But you need to understand as well that the money here is not from the sales from the webinar. It is when they come to your live event, right? So that's where you get the most leverage. And a win-win partnership is always when it's structured to be in the best interest for both parties, right? In negotiation, it's very important to understand that the first person who comes up with the number always loses, always. So what I would do is I would place the ball back to them first. And I would say this, I would say, so one of the things I want to do is I want to become more aggressive in my campaigns. And I noticed that because of our current setup where you are paid on the net profit, your interest is to save me money. But the truth is, For me, on the other hand, I want people to show up at my live event, not make money on the front end, but rather on the back end. So what I would propose is I would rather work with you and pay you based on your percentage of your ad spend. What number do you have in mind if we were to work based on ad spend instead? So now it's in their court. And the truth is you have a pretty good deal. If it's 3% of ad spend, that is still kind of like below industry standard. Industry standard is usually about 5% and it can even go up to 10%. So the truth is, even if they say 3%, it's still a good deal. Well, I hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes to this coaching call. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below what your biggest takeaway is. And as always, be sure to smash the like button. It does help the channel out a little bit. And to subscribe to this channel if you want to be notified of future videos just like this one. Now, some of you asking me, how can I be part of this process? How can I ask you questions? How can I have you coach me or mentor me? We want to make sure that we are working with the people that's the right fit. You'll need to fill up a form. There's a link right below this video. Somebody on my team might give you a call to interview you to see if they're right fit for each other. And if you want to apply and see if you're a good fit, then all you need to do is click on this link in the description box below and my team will be in touch with you.